Now on to part 2. Anyway, continuing on. Next up, we have the WWF Championship from the Attitude Era, or people like to call it the Big Cookie because it's shaped like a big old chocolate chip cookie. And again, Chef's Kiss. To me, this is my favorite version of the WWF Championship. I love that championship. Sorry about that. My phone got my secret phone had a notification on it. But yeah, I love this championship. It's my favorite version of the championship. To me, all due respect to the other WWF championship, the championship of the signs, nothing tops that one from the Attitude Era. Stone Cold held it. Triple H held it. In fact, he was the first person I ever saw that. Oh, sorry about that. Another notification. He was the first person I ever saw that held the championship. And also Stone Cold, The Rock, lots of people held it. Chris Jericho held it. So honestly, there's 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 something else that could be said. I love that championship. Continuing. Next, we have yet again another Chef's Kiss, the famous WWF Championship, the Winged Eagle. And a lot has been said about this championship. Like a lot has been said about that championship. From Bret Hart to Shawn Michaels to The Undertaker to Psycho Sid to so many great people. And I mean, even though it's not my favorite design of the championship, it has to be there. It just has to be there. No question about it. It has to be there. Next up, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin's Smoking Gun Championship. And I sound like a broken record, but Chef's Kiss. Perfect for the character. Now, while Daniel Bryan's hemp version was a solid design. It was nothing too crazy. It was a good design. This one is a great design, and like I said, perfect for the character, perfect for the time period, the Attitude Era. Next, we have the Intercontinental Championship from 2011, debuted by undashing Cody Rhodes, who wore a mask because, oh, my face, even though you could clearly see his face through the mask. But he brought it back because he wanted to bring some relevancy back to the championship. And for what seemed like almost a decade, this championship was, to a lot of people, their favorite design of it. So, yeah, again, Chef's Kiss. And nothing else need to be said. The whiting looks dope. I love the hint of blue, and I love how classical it looks, even though it's modern. Speaking of classic, the Attitude Era Intercontinental Championship, and even though I grew up with it, I love this design so much. It's what I think about when I think about, oh, that's the Intercontinental Champion. Especially when I've seen Chris Jericho, Christian, Edge, Randy Orton, who held it for a long time at that point when he held it. But to a lot of people, this design is what people think about when people think about, oh, how come the Intercontinental Championship lost its prestige over the years? So again, despite my nostalgia, I'll go thumbs up. It's a solid design. It's nothing really flashy overall. It's nothing really flashy, but again, minus my nostalgia, it is a solid design. Next, we have the 80s era Intercontinental Championship. And again, thumbs up. Solid design. Think about it. Ravishing Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect. Trying to think who else held it. Owen Hart. Like the greatest of the greats held that design of the championship. Next, we have the Ruthless Aggression era version of the WWE United States Championship. And this might be also controversial, but I'm going to go thumbs up. Now, is it a bit much, the whole U.S. design of the belt, like the whole U.S. look for the belt? Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, you could say that. But, it gets its point across. Normally today with championship belts, they don't get their point across. Back in the day, these belts, they got their point across. And this one, it made its point. It's like, oh, that's the United States Championship. Next, we have the Raw and the SmackDown Women's Championships. And no question, both of them reek of Vince. Again, just it's the same WWE current belt design, just made for the women. Instead of black straps, it's white straps. For Raw, we got red. For SmackDown, we got blue. No, just no. Up another reeks of Vince, the WWE 24/7 Championship belt. Other than R-Truth and what he did with it, this belt means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Speaking of nothing, the Raw and the SmackDown and the 2010 version of the WWE Tag Team titles. How have we had these belts for 14 years since 2010? Is monotonous. It is not only, to me, it is beyond lazy. It's just, actually no, let me scratch that. The 2010 belts, I'll switch them to lazy effort because the Roman Gladiator design, that was a nice look, but it looked like a penny. And then when the Raw and SmackDown versions came, they looked like nickels. And again, it's like, how were these the tag team belts for over a decade? Beats me. Up next, the WWE PG era version of the Cruiserweight Championship. This championship came back at the end of the Cruiserweight Classic tournament and was made for the 205 Live Cruiserweight division, 205 pounds and all that. But this championship, now, while the championship booking of it amounted to nothing and there wasn't like big standout players and they weren't treated the right way, I still say it's a thumbs up design. I still think it's a solid belt. It's a solid belt. It's just the booking around it and its wrestlers just, and that's sad because the belt looks nice. Next, we have the Raw and SmackDown versions of the tag team titles, the World Tag Team titles and the WWE Tag Team titles, which have been brought back as of recently, with the new World Tag Team title belt designs being tag team versions of the current new World Heavyweight Championship belt designs, and the WWE Tag Team belts were reinstated when the look of it looked like the old school tag team titles, just modernized. But for the Raw era belts, the World Tag Team titles, honestly, and again, this could be just nostalgia. It could be just nostalgia. Chef's kiss. And you know what? Why not? SmackDown belts, also chef's kiss. I don't know what to tell you guys. I love those championships. I grew up with those championships. And you know what? While I'm at it, chef's kiss for the the 80s and the 90s tag team title belts. Those three designs, to me, I consider those tag team titles. That's what I think of when I think of what a tag team championship belt in the WWE looks like. Oh God, oh God, oh God, help me. Oh God, help me. Oh God, help me. The Divas Butterfly Championship. Weeks of Vince, because, and that's all I have to say about that. Nothing else to be said. The Women's Championship from the Attitude Era up until the Ruthless Aggression Era, where it was stupidly replaced by the Divas Championship. Stupidly replaced. I don't. Now, it's not a perfect design. It is not a perfect design. So I'll go thumbs up. I grew up with it, but it is not a perfect design. I don't think it's mid either. That's just me. Again, could be nostalgia, but that's just me. Next up, we have the European Championship. Also thumbs up. It gets the job done for what the championship is and what it looks like. It's a nice looking championship, but it's not like the upper echelon of championship belts. Then again, the European Championship wasn't really the upper echelon of championships either, but that's whatever. Up next, the Hardcore Championship. Another thumbs up. Listen. This championship was a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. Seriously, it's a lot of fun. And the 24/7 rule was, again, it was just a joy to watch. And that's all I can say. Next up, the Light Heavyweight Championship. And even though I have a bit of fond memory of it, and I remember the design and what it looked like, I have to say overall, mid. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad either. It's just, again, I have fond memories of it, but also I don't really know. It's kind of hard to explain the light heavyweight championship because it wasn't upper echelon, but it wasn't really the best either. If that makes sense. But again, that could be just my opinion. But that's just how I feel about the matter in regards to the light heavyweight championship. It wasn't an overall bad championship belt, but overall wasn't really a good one either. So take that what you will. Stay tuned for part 3.